So I'm now going to talk about the Srimala Gana in relationship to the rest of the Mahayana Gana and what its role is. And why have it. So if you envisage students coming in as members and then becoming Mahayana Ghanaians, some of them are quite new and some of them have been around for a long time. Some of them are representing the values of the Sangha more effectively than others who are still, in many ways, still learning. So there's quite a mixture, and potentially it could be quite a lot of people and quite a mixture of people at different levels of experience and understanding. And they would need some kind of reference point for where they're going in terms of a deeper understanding of the functioning of the Sangha and what is needed in order to hold those values and educate others in those values. So at the heart of it, you need a group of students who've really proved themselves over time to have the staying power to stand for the Sangha, and who are well known to each other, have been able to resolve their difficulties over time. We've had time to really learn to trust each other and work well together and understand the issues facing the Sangha in order to have informed opinions about how to take things forward in any particular area that you find in the lifetime of practice, and also have a good understanding of the legal and financial responsibilities that the Sangha carries, in order to advise and consult and help with the making of policies, deciding on priorities in terms of the 5-year plan, looking at the budget, making decisions about where money would be best employed over a long period of time. So although this is something that people would like to contribute to from quite an early stage, you do need a group of people who are working well together to actually hold all of that on behalf of the rest of the Sangha, so that you've got a kind of feeding into the Srimala Gana through the Mahayana Gana, different ideas and suggestions, but the Srimala Gana itself having the actual discussion with each other about how to bring the whole thing together. And then you've got the Srimala Gana might, of course, itself get quite big over time. So it's got to have some way of delegating the job of firming up and actually taking on the executive role of making things happen. And, so on the one side you have some sort of setup. At the moment we have what we call the management team. Simply it's the default team of people who are meeting face to face here at the Hermitage, who are prepared to take on that responsibility. That's Tara, Dashu and myself, and we are all Mahayana Ghanaians. We represent the Mahayana Gana and we work with the Srimala Gana. We are also Srimala Gana people, so we're supported by the rest of the Srimala Gana. So that anybody in the rest of the Sangha who's thinking, well, what's happening? Why is it happening? Why is something else not happening that I hoped was happening? They have a reference. They can talk to Srimala Gana people, and the Srimala Gana people are very likely to know the situation. And if not, they know where to get the information they need, so that there's opportunity for good communication about the decisions that are being made and why they're being made, and a good way that ideas can come up from the members through the Mahayana Gana, through the Srimala Gana, to the management team, and back and forth until decisions have been made. And seeing where and how they're being made, it can be quite transparent because of the way we've set things up with the 5-year plan that is actually available for everyone to look at, I think, but ideally it is. And if people were really asking for it, it would probably become, it would become clearer. I'm expecting that to become clearer over time. So there is a possibility for everyone to participate. There is if you like, a hierarchy of circles coming in towards the centre where you can get some efficient decision making going on, and it's also very transparent decision making. It's you know how it's being done, and you can feed in your, whatever you feel you need to feed in. You know where to feed it in and how it could communicate back and forth. So that's a kind of responsibility that the Shrimala Ghana is taking on behalf of the Mahayana Ghana and the Sangha as a whole. And it's obviously going to have to work together with the trust, which has been set up to hold the assets there. And the relationship between the trust and the Shrimala Ghana has to be very carefully managed. And this is work that we're still trying to, with the Shrimala Ghana within itself is trying to familiarise itself with what its responsibilities are there and how to safeguard the interests of the Sangha in relationship to the legal requirements of the Sangha, of the trust, charitable trust. So to become a member of the Shrimala Ghana, I think from the point of view of my vision, the closer every Mahayana Ghanaian is to being able to stand for the Sangha in the same way as the Shrimala Ghanaian needs to, the better our Sangha will be. So the Shrimala Ghana is really out to educate every member of the Mahayana Ghana to understand its role, its function, its values, its aims, its vision, its mission. And then there comes a question of at what point would a Mahayana Ghanaian step into the Shrimala Ghana to function as a full Shrimala Ghanaian. And this is the kind of discussion that's ongoing within the Shrimala Ghana at the moment. We're trying to firm up what that trajectory would be and how that's best handled, how to handle it in such a way that it strengthens the Shrimala Ghana but doesn't weaken the Mahayana Ghana, and how it keeps all the relationships alive and functioning, and prevent it from ossifying at any time into a kind of elite group that's not really in communication with the rest of the Mahayana Ghana. So all these things need to be thought through and safeguarded against, and we're doing this now on a monthly basis, working through the different issues. And this is what you would have to be prepared to do if you were part of the Shrimala Ghana. You'd have to be prepared to really put your mind to understanding the issues that are, that come up and are at stake in order to protect the whole mandala. So maybe not everybody would be very interested to take on that sort of responsibility. Maybe they would feel they were happier just to stay in the Mahayana Ghana and take as much responsibility as they feel they're capable of doing at this particular time. But there could be times in the future where there's a great need for new people, new blood in the Shrimala Ghana because, naturally over time we're getting older. So we'll be not be able to function so well, or we'll need more help, or we'll be dead. So we will need new blood within the Shrimala Ghana, and young new blood would be really good. So we're hoping that there will be people that will be inspired to join the Shrimala Ghana over time. in the meantime, we want as many people as possible to understand its role and to support it in its role and understand the issues that it's facing. And this will have it will be extremely important when I'm not here anymore, that there is this good relationship between the Mahayana Ghana as a whole and the Srimala Ghana, which it will be carrying the responsibility of that I'm carrying now, really. It would just be, at the moment I'm sharing it with the Srimala Ghana, but I'm preparing the Srimala Ghana to be able to carry on when I'm no longer with them. And this is my best shot at a succession. Sometimes people ask, well, will there be someone to replace you, Shempen? And I think it will never be the same as it is now, because now when people come, they see I'm at the heart of the Sangha and they're drawn in by my vision as the founding Lama, you could say. In future, people will be drawn in because they see the Sangha. They will see the Awakened Heart Sangha, they will see the Mahayana Ghana, they will see the Srimala Ghana, and they'll think, yes, I want to work with these people. So that's how I'm envisaging the succession to go. And it could be that the Srimala Ghana feels that somebody in their midst is a natural successor that, people would have confidence in and could hold the Sangha together and give them a special role within the Srimala Ghana. Or it could be that they invite somebody from outside to help bring that sort of spiritual influence into the mandala, while at the same time maintaining the integrity of the vehicle that they've created. So there's various possibilities into the future. I think that the way we've set it up, it will adapt well to different circumstances and to whatever real, genuine inspiration there is in the world at the time. I think it can serve that inspiration and be a vehicle for that inspiration. That's the way I'm thinking into the future. So I'm leaving a structure that can be adapted by the people who will be there at the place and time when I'm not. So that's basically how I see things.